Hey guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is the Alpha Exchange, and I'm your co-host Sylvia.
And I'm Justin.
And we're here to take you further on your crypto journey. So thank you for joining us on this video series. In the earlier videos we've presented is how to get started in the crypto space. So in our first video, we were able to get new crypto users set up with a wallet. We've opened a Metamask wallet. In subsequent videos, we've shown you how to move fiat into crypto. And in our last video, we got you set up working on your first decentralized exchange. So by the end of today's video, you'll be able to use your Metamask wallet to connect to different blockchain networks outside of the Ethereum-based network, which Metamask runs in. So as you're aware, there's many other blockchains out there, like Bitcoin being a very popular one, Ethereum to name the two major players. However, there's certain advantages and disadvantages of being able to transact across these different networks. So just in thinking about some of the different networks that are out there, what would be some of the reasons our users may want to set up the ability to link up between different blockchains?
That's a great question there, Sylvia, and one we get often asked in our communities. So when we start talking about blockchain, not all blockchains are made equally. And what I mean by that is some blockchains have lower network fees or gas costs. Some networks are faster to transact. In other words, it takes less time to send funds. Long-term networks provide different functionality, and there'll be different opportunities for financial incentives like staking opportunities, token sales, and services and products available on these different networks. The main reason why you might want to add networks to your MetaMask in these purposes is so that you have a greater financial freedom and really take control of your finances and steer it in the directions that you want.
So noting those key points of why one would want to connect to a different blockchain, what are the first steps to get our users connected in their MetaMask wallet onto any other blockchains?
So you're going to have two basic methods that you can add networks to your MetaMask with. One is manual entry, so you manually can enter the details into MetaMask to create a new network in it, or to use a service that automatically connects networks to it. Now, you might ask me, why would you use manual if there's an automated service? Well, there's always this double-edged sword when we talk about ease of use and speed, right? For it either to be easy, you're lacking security. So one concern someone might have if they're very security conscious is that connecting your wallet to one of these websites could have some kind of malicious actor take charge of it. So doing the entries manually is always the most secure, but we believe this website to be safe for automated connections. We'll show you both methods though today in the video so that you can choose what fits your situation best.
So let's get started.
All right. So from our MetaMask here, so my MetaMask is set up, and right now I only have the Ethereum mainnet connected to my wallet. So if I want to connect other networks, let's say we want to add the Avalanche network. So if I go to my search engine and I say how to add AVAX or how to add Avalanche to MetaMask, I'm going to get these search queries. And in general, you want to choose a search query from a reliable source. So generally that's going to be some kind of article written by MetaMask themselves, or perhaps the underlying foundation for the blockchain like AVAX or Avalanche in this case. So in this case, we're going to use this link from Avalanche directly. And if we scroll down this page, here we find the relevant information we need. Essentially, we need to know the RPC URL and the chain ID are the two critical pieces of information. So now let's take a look at adding that information to MetaMask. So if I click MetaMask, I can click Add Network here from the drop-down menu, or if I go to the settings page, I can go down to networks and I can add a network here as well. So now I need to add the network name, the RPC, the chain ID, the symbol, and the blockchain explorer in order to add this network to MetaMask. Now, the currency symbol and the block URL are optional, but I highly recommend you add them in simply so you can better keep track of what currency you're operating in, as well as investigate transactions when you conduct them on the blockchain. So let's put some of these details in. So again, the network name, you can call it whatever you want. It's not important. This is just an identifier for yourself. So one important thing you should note here is that you can't have any white space in this URL, otherwise it'll believe it's invalid. So if you get an invalid URL, just make sure you don't have any extra spaces at the beginning or the end of the RPC URL. We're also going to now need the chain ID. Again, the currency symbol, you can call it whatever you want. In this case, it's AVAX for Avalanche Network. And then I'm also going to add in the blockchain explorer, in this case, snowtrace.io. So I'm going to save this. And now if I go to my MetaMask, you can now see I have both the Ethereum mainnet and the Avalanche network added. So I can now do transactions on the Avalanche network.
So now that we've added the Avalanche network to our Ethereum wallet, how would we go about moving fiat to crypto and then into that different blockchain?
So in order to do that, we're going to have to use a bridging service. So bridging service is what we use in order to move cryptocurrencies or tokens from one network to the other. And the easiest way to kind of understand how this works is to kind of relate it to infrastructure that you deal with in your everyday life. So in your everyday life, we're all familiar with different types of ways of getting around. So you might take a car to get to work, or you might take a train to commute, or a plane to fly across the country. These are all different infrastructures we use to facilitate movement. The blockchain is very similar. Sometimes you might want to use one piece of infrastructure to do a particular type of transaction. Well, I can't drive my car on a railroad. So in order to facilitate that, I have to use a bridging service. I have to basically take my car and then wrap it so that it can run on the train infrastructure. And we do this by taking the car and basically strapping it down to a train car, and then it's now able to run on the train network. This is how we're able to move funds around and send them between networks. Before we jump into a bridge though, I'm just going to quickly show you how you can also do adding a network to MetaMask using an automated service like Chainlist. So Chainlist is an automated service. So if you type in Chainlist to your search engine or go to chainlist.org, you'll find this service here. So the first step you'll need to do is to connect your MetaMask to it or your chosen soft wallet. Now that my wallet is connected, I can search for the network that I want to add to MetaMask. So let's say we want to add the Phantom network to it. So Phantom Opera is their mainnet. So if I click Add to MetaMask, MetaMask is now going to prompt me to approve this, and then this is what's being added. So again, you could double check these details to make sure they're truthful and that what you want added. And if I click Approve, I now have the Phantom network added to my MetaMask as well. So that shows you both methods, both using the automated service through Chainlist or manually searching and doing it. But now let's get back to Sylvia's question about how do we actually transfer funds. So I now have Phantom and AVAX added to my wallet. How do I actually fund these wallets? Because you'll notice that these wallets have 0 Phantom in them and 0 AVAX in them, which is unfortunate because I need the underlying blockchain currency in these wallets in order to pay for transaction fees, right? So any transaction I do on the Avalanche network, I have to pay those fees in AVAX, just like how on the Ethereum network, I have to pay gas fees in Ethereum. So let's go over to our friend Evo Bridge. So Evo Bridge or All Bridge are two of the ones we recommend. So bridge.evo.defi gives us the option to connect across multiple blockchains. So first thing we're going to do is select our source wallet. So we're going to go from Ethereum. So I'm now going to connect my MetaMask to it. And I need to have my MetaMask in the Ethereum network. And now I need to select my target network. And you can see from the list here, there's quite a number of networks that you can bridge to with this service. And there's many other bridges out there. Feel free to check out our live stream on twitch.tv and ask any of our team members there for tips on bridging to other networks that you didn't find available through Evo DeFi. So we're going to send some funds over to Avalanche since we just set this up. And what are we going to send over? Well, we're going to send over some Ethereum. How much? Well, let's send over 0.01. And then this is what I'm going to receive on my other network. So you notice how the symbol here changed from ETH to WETH. What this is saying is this is now going to be wrapped Ethereum. In other words, this is Ethereum that has been wrapped in order to work on the AVAX blockchain. So I'm going to confirm my transaction. And now I can see the deposit info for the transaction going on. So I'm taking Ethereum and I'm sending it to the Avalanche network. I'm exchanging ETH for WETH. And I have my confirmations running here. Once these confirmations are complete, I'll see the funds show up in my wallet. So right now I'm going to see funds deducted from my Ethereum transaction. And again, if I'm ever in doubt of what's going on, I can always take a look at these transactions on the Blockchain Explorer. So if I click Blockchain Explorer, I can now see these transactions going through in real time. So the first thing we're going to need to do is wait for this transaction to be part of a block on the Ethereum network. Once that's done, so there you go, that was just successful. So now I'm going to need to wait to see the rest of these confirmations come through, because the first step is done. So the funds will have been deducted from my Ethereum wallet. So we can see the funds have now been deducted. And now I'm waiting for the funds to show up in my Avalanche wallet. So one important thing I'll also point out to you right now, if you notice, between the different blockchains, I have the same account address. So if you notice on my Avalanche network, my wallet public address is the same as it is on Ethereum, which is the same as it is on Phantom. They're all the same address. They're just different blockchains that they're operating on. This means that if someone sends you funds from a different chain that's supported by Metamask, but you didn't have it installed at your wallet at the time, it means it's not lost. You just can't see it. So it's one of the beautiful things about blockchain. As long as the address was correct, the funds are still there. You just might not actually be able to see them. One additional thing that you may need to do at this time is to import the additional tokens. So with a new version of MetaMask, it will automatically import tokens added to your wallet. But if not, you can do an import token. So you'll need to know the contract address. In other words, you need to know what's the address that's used to represent WETH on the Avalanche network. So again, while we're waiting for this transaction to go through, we can do a quick Google search and search for the contract address for WETH on Avalanche. So again, I'm looking on the snowtrace.io website. So this is the blockchain explorer for the Avalanche network. And here's the contract address. So if I copy this contract address here and I go to my MetaMask, I can now go to Assets, Import Tokens, paste this, and automatically the symbol gets added with the relevant information. And I now have both AVAX and WETH in my MetaMask wallet to view. And again, just because the token isn't added to the wallet doesn't mean that if someone sends you funds, it's gone. It just means you can't view it in the wallet. So this is an important thing that comes up in our community all the time when people have funds being transacted and they might not find them in their wallet. All right, guys, so now our transaction has completed. Now, some people get alarmed because this takes some time. So because we're bridging between networks, you're dealing with transactions on both sides. So sometimes this process can take anywhere from 5 to 40 minutes, depending on what change you're interacting with. So don't be concerned if it's a little bit slow. Again, if the details look correct, again, so if I look on the Ethereum network, I can see that all the details match, the contracts match, the addresses match. I should feel fairly secure that the funds are going through. And again, if I check on the various blockchain explorers, we can see that the transactions coming through. And now if I take a look at my MetaMask, I can see that the funds have showed up. I now have wrapped Ethereum in my MetaMask that I transferred over from the AVAX chain. If you notice as well, I have a little bit of AVAX in my wallet here as well. So this is pretty typical of most bridges. They will send a little bit of the underlying blockchain currency when you do a bridge in order for you to transact on the network. Because in order for me to now sell this WETH, in order to get AVAX, I need to be able to pay for the AVAX transaction fees in AVAX. So they send you a little bit with the transaction in order for you to be able to facilitate your first transaction on the new network.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We've walked you through how to take your Metamask wallet and connect it to one of the other blockchain networks. So we'll continue this video series, taking you further on your crypto journey. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, or drop us a note in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
Be sure to check out our description below the video to see additional useful links, and hit us up on our socials. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and be sure to join our Discord community. That's where the family hangs out and where the real trading begins. Bye for now.
Until next time.